Maybe.
It's opening weekend in the National Women's Soccer League, and we are in the heart of the Bluegrass State and the city of Louisville for Saturday soccer action. Having led the league in various statistical categories, Taylor Flint will anchor Louisville's midfield, while U.S. international Emma Sears looks to build on a standout rookie season where she scored 5 goals. For North Carolina, Captain Denise O'Sullivan has clocked over 13,000 professional minutes and is on the cusp of breaking into an elite group of players. Ashley Sanchez led the Courage in goals and assists in 2024, a career-high 9 goal contributions. It's Racing Louisville versus the North Carolina Courage next on NWSL Plus.
There we go. See how well this goes, shall we?
From Louisville, Kentucky and Lynn Family Stadium, NWSL Plus is proud to present Racing Louisville's home opener against the North Carolina Courage. Hello and welcome alongside former U.S. international Casey White. I'm Eric Krakauer. Opening weekend is in full swing, and Casey, so far, it has certainly delivered.
It really has, and already so many goals, so much offensive production. Only 3 games in, 4 to go, so I can expect that we're going to see even more as we go throughout this weekend.
Yes, let's hope that the goals don't dry up tonight as Racing and Courage kick off their 2025 campaigns with starkly different expectations. For Louisville, it's all about getting into the playoffs for the very first time. As for North Carolina, it's about adding silverware to those trophy cabinets.
It really is, and for Racing Louisville, their midfield is critical to what they do, and for Savannah DeMello, who plays in that attacking midfield role, having Taylor Flint, Ari Borges around her allows her to do exactly what she enjoys, which is getting on the half turn, going forward, and creating chances. She's a player that's not only creative in what she does, but she wants to be the difference maker. So you'll always see her in and around goal, looking to be opportunistic, and that's exactly what Racing Louisville will need in this 2025 season. And on the flip side, you mentioned the North Carolina Courage. They're not a team that you would think needs more footballing IQ, but that's exactly what they've done by adding Jaden Shaw. 13 goals, 4 assists. She is a footballer through and through, but she also knows how to produce. She understands how to create for others, but she has that nose for goal. She understands the movements, getting on the back shoulder. And what I like about what she does is she's always looking to have an impact, continue runs, and put goals away for any team that she's on.
Well, both these teams will be battling each other as well as the elements. It is wet, it is windy, it is cold, but kickoff is next. Stay with us.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings with over $600 in digital coupons each week, plus up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome!
I like it. I love it.
Get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 Corolla or all hybrid Camry. Lease a Corolla from $239 a month or Camry from $299 a month.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
One of you is a Maximilian winner, and the evidence is everywhere. A crisp custom suit, a new stack of diamonds.
It's Jeeves. He drove here in a new convertible.
But there are 25 prizes of $1 million. It could be all of us.
I'll be taking this for evidence.
New Maximilian scratch-offs, packed to the max with millionaires.
Hey, grab me one too.
Which one are you? Both of them. Hello, chat. Again, this is an NWSL.
After a week of sunshine, the weather gods have decided to spoil the party. It is pouring down at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. There's a look at Katie Lund, 10 saves shy of 300. This is her 75th start for Racing Louisville. And here's a look at the Louisville 11.
And it's really great for Katie Lund to be in behind this backline with the departure of Ursig. Ellie Jean slots in there next to Aaron Wright, who will be wanting to lead the backline. You've got the three in midfield of Flint, Borges, and DeMello. Not only creative, but can really be disruptive and break up play. And then the power and pace of Janine Sonis, Kayla Fisher, and Emma Sears. Look for them to push to try to get in behind the backline of the North Carolina Courage tonight.
Casey Murphy will pass Debinha for fourth most minutes played in Courage history if she sees out the match tonight. 6 clean sheets last season. Here's a look at North Carolina's lineup.
And they'll come out in a 4-3-3. Kaylee Kurtz is going to be the center back in there, the stalwart, the Iron Woman for the North Carolina Courage. The midfield three, Riley Jackson gets into the midfield. She'll play alongside Denise O'Sullivan with Jaden Shaw in that attacking midfield role. We saw Ashley Sanchez a lot in there last year, looking to float into the outside space. Tonight, she'll start on that right side with Manaka centrally and Tyler Lucy with power and pace off the left.
We caught up with Racing's Taylor Flint moments ago and asked her about Louisville's season expectations.
Playoffs for sure. We've been working so hard, and that's like one of our goals that we show to everybody in the meeting before practice. It's always like our first thing on our minds is like, we're making playoffs this year, no questions asked.
And you get to play in front of your fans at home for the first game. What can everyone expect to see from this 2025 version of Racing Louisville?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this weather turns around, but no, we've been working so hard. Everything we built, the team culture in particular, has been unreal. But we're just excited to come out there and show you guys, you know, we're a different team than last year, and like that's the main point that we want to show. And yeah, we're just super excited to go out there and get 3 points tonight.
Well, the news is that the weather has not turned around, as we have a good look there at Savannah DeMello, the U.S. international, and this is Bev Yanez, second season in charge. She demanded unrelenting intensity during the preseason. She's also encouraged her players to be as interactive as possible off the pitch. A bonded group battles together, she told us. She is essentially building the team's culture. There is the referee, Adora Monroy, who was in charge the last time both these teams met. And the ball is kicked into play at Lynn Family Stadium. Racing Louisville and the North Carolina Courage getting their 2025 NWSL campaigns underway. Alongside former U.S. international Casey White, I'm Eric Krakauer. Racing kicking off their 5th campaign in the league, yet to make the playoffs, having finished 9th in each of the last 4 seasons. Getting over that hump, the immediate priority. As for the visiting Courage, the aim to reclaim former glories. Their cabinets back in Cary, North Carolina, trophy filled. Among the silverware, 3 shields and 2 NWSL championships. The stage then is set for an intriguing matchup, Casey.
Well, it's going to be really interesting just to see the different styles of play as they match up here for the North Carolina Courage. I think one thing that we really will want to watch is their outside backs and how they create overloads. They love to be in possession, we know that, and Racing Louisville is going to have to understand that it's not a new opponent for them, so they'll have to show a lot of patience defensively and look for their moments to go forward.
And the visitors now in possession. This is Ryan Williams. Bringing it out wide. Good defensive work from the home team. Janine Sonis, no longer Becky. And this is the 13th meeting between both clubs. North Carolina leads it 10 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Their last meeting back in September was the first time Louisville took the spoils, a 2-1 win. It was a late show, coming back from a first half deficit. This is Borges. Now wide to Sonis, who under hits the pass. Easily dealt with by Williams.
These are going to be a lot of things they're going to have to be careful of. Just those little mishaps, little mistouches, just with the conditions.
A little Meg from Sonis. All into the box, not dealt with. And finally cleared away by the Courage. No pressure on Ellie Jean. And this is Louisville's newest captain, Erin Wright.
This game in a second, Shannon.
Who also extended her stay in her home state. Peterson looking for options. This is threatening here from DeMello. Trying to cut inside, looking for a window to shoot. That's well wide.
But I think that's really good from DeMello. You know, she's going to try to get forward a lot and create opportunities.
Here's a look at Sean Nahas, who hasn't given the 2024 season too much thought.
I'm going to get a different
but he did
channel
admit
for
his
this,
team has to be more dynamic and threatening in the attacking third. He is a head coach, very much married to his footballing principles, which you've already alluded to on the broadcast.
And one of the things that everyone knows about this team is that they want to possess and go forward, but he's not shied away from the fact that you've got to turn the backs of defenders like here and try to play in behind. So there's that level of unpredictability when you do possess that you still could go forward with purpose.
Peterson, collected by O'Sullivan, under duress. Appeals for a foul.
And one of the things to watch for with the North Carolina Courage is just the way in which they build. They're building out of a three-back. They sometimes push Rao, the left back, into the central of midfield. Sometimes she goes high and wide, and you'll see a lot of interchange between Shaw and Monaco. We're already seeing that as they look to play in behind this back line.
Jean chasing the ball. Excuse me, that was Ellie Jean. Threading the ball through. Turning out of pressure. Initially, it was Emma Sears. Loses the sphere. This is O'Sullivan.
Shoot that.
And now a strike from distance, but that's easy pickings. Ashley Sanchez with her first shot of 2025. Led team in scoring and assists last season.
And really the only difference of starting this 2025 season is her starting position out on the right. She would often drift out into that space, so very comfortable with that. She loves to float in and out of spaces as we see this foul called, but she loves to get in there and go in and out and float on the back shoulders of opposition. So I think we'll see a lot of that movement from her in the wide channel.
Looked like a clean tackle to the naked eye. Here's another look.
Sullivan certainly did get a little touch on that ball there.
Touching the ball doesn't mean everything. You know that as a player. Come on. You can level the person.
Both these teams will look to possess, and one of the things that Bev Yanez told us was she had to try and figure out a way to disrupt North Carolina's possession. They led the league last season, 57.2% average.
And when you talk about disrupting the possession piece, she did make a mention of you got to see how they come out. What are going to be their different styles and the way in which they build? Are they going to invert their outside backs? Are they going to push forward? Once that starts to become clear, then she really wants to limit their time on the ball, especially right there. You can see Kayla Fisher putting a little bit of pressure on. They want to try to dispossess in this attacking third.
Williams recycles possession to Kurtz. This is Berkeley. And you can see how Filia Rao pushes up on the far side. Where North Carolina are in possession. Finished the 2024 campaign in 5th, albeit 16 points adrift of Kansas City Current, who then beat them in the quarterfinals, a 0-0.
Uh-oh.
Jackson dispossessed. It is going to be interesting to see how both these teams deal with the pitch, how soggy it is.
Well, I definitely think that it can disrupt the Courage even more than it would disrupt Racing Louisville, just because they do like to create those overloads centrally, play through the middle third a lot, and unless there's the pinpoint accuracy, which they have the ability to do, don't get me wrong, but unless there's that pinpoint accuracy, it's going to be really tough with Racing Louisville trying to condense the space central.
Ball played all the way back to Murphy. Gets rid of it quickly. Williams. O'Sullivan has seen a lot of the ball in the early goings. Nice running through Kaylee Kurtz's veins there. And now Malia Berkeley. Manaka, Matsukubu checking in. Sanchez.
And that's the piece there that's difficult with the conditions, because you can see Ryan Williams overlapping in that outside channel. You find Denise O'Sullivan's feet, that ball can be played immediately in behind that space, but you can see the good patterns that they're trying to use to penetrate going forward.
There's Filiarao over the top. Sullivan out to Williams. Sanchez has options in the box, looking for one, headed out of the 6. And that will be the first corner of the game, and it will benefit the visitors. First good look there at Jaden Shaw, who was contesting the header. Crossed in, the header, and once again, that's easy for Katie Lund. Kurtz is getting involved.
And Shaw just plays short and then gets it back, tries to find a ball centrally. It's a little bit too far out. It's hard to head from the penalty spot with that kind of trajectory coming, but it's a good opportunity for Kurtz as she does get into the penalty area often and can be a threat.
Peterson. Louisville insisting down this left corridor. Berkeley organizing, waiting for O'Sullivan to check in. Ball goes to Manaka, who seems to have quite a little bit of liberty in her positioning, her movements. Sonis read the play. Under pressure, Borges coughs up the ball, but illegally, according to the referee, Monroy.
Oh, that's the ref. It looks like Kristen Press.
13,000 minutes. Denise O'Sullivan. This is her 150th regular season start. Only the 20th player to reach that milestone. So an elite company. She is an elite player. This is well done by the home side. Sears tried to find an option.
In Utah.
Manaka took a little knock there from the Brazilian Borges.
And I'm not surprised that that's called in that moment, because the ones on O'Sullivan were calling it a little bit tight early on in this one, you can kind of see. So I'm not surprised it went that way. But what I liked about that from the back line of the Courage, Malia Berkeley just really patient as Sears got into the box. There's going to be those transition moments where they may be dispossessed, and they're going to have to show that individual defending patience in and around their penalty area.
Sean Nahas did talk to us about the danger that Louisville pose in transition. Manaka looked to have been fouled. Sonis. DeMello. Now we're getting tight quarters. This is Peterson. Back to Savannah DeMello. Who was shoved to the side. No whistle there. So much for the consistency.
Now it's changing a little bit. We're 11 minutes in, so maybe loosen.
Well, referees are only human.
Exactly.
And there's a disgruntlement on the face of Bev Yanez.
But I think what this speaks to from Denise O'Sullivan is setting a tone. Right as they lose the ball, she's going in and trying to condense the space right away. Not a bad thing. I like that early on in the game to say, okay, yes, we're going to have a lot of the possession, but when we do lose it, it's not going to be easy for you to get out, and she has that veteran presence for the Courage.
Her fingerprints all over this game so far. Sanchez gives it away. Kayla Fisher. Borges. All the way out wide to Lauren Millay. This is her 90th start. Nobody has played more minutes for Racing Louisville. Right. Borges. Space to turn. Millay. Emma Sears. Fresh from playing in the She Believes Cup. Window to cross. Deflected. Corner for the home side.
But that's a space that Racing Louisville can take advantage of. Feely Rowe likes to get a little bit higher up the field. And when she does that, there's a space for Sears to try to penetrate in behind, and they're rewarded with a corner kick.
No team scored more headers than Louisville last season. So a set piece, threat. Peterson over the ball, the 27-year-olds. An in-swinger. That one towards the back post. It's met, and it's in. And Racing Louisville have landed the first punch in front of a partisan crowd. A textbook set piece, executed to perfection. Emma Sears with her first of the campaign.
It's Aaron Wright on the back post.
Sears! Oh, God.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Perfectly. Gets it across frame. Emma Sears is there, and to be honest, there were 3 or 4 players that could have possibly put this in. But Sears
I'm glad
stays
for Emma.
concentrated, but I do not think it can be overstated. The organization it takes from Aaron Wright on the back post to keep this ball alive and get Racing Louisville an opportunity to get on top.
Sears forced the corner and punctuates the set piece. North Carolina have had more of the ball, but it's Louisville on the board. And the goal is confirmed. And was a quick check. Not sure for what.
So they always check it. You know this. You're an announcer over there. Get it right.
The plot thickens.
It really does, because you were talking about the transition piece earlier when a team like the Courage has a lot of possession. Their transition to defending, really important if Louisville wins it, but also set pieces. We hadn't even spoken about that yet. That's the great equalizer at times, is you get one opportunity and you put it away, and your team is sitting in the driver's seat.
Sanchez has a runner in Manaka. Took a tumble. Couldn't keep the ball in play. To close out the opening weekend, Alyssa Thompson and Angel City take on Kaylin Sheridan and the San Diego Wave tomorrow at 6:50 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Looking forward to that one. Well, let's see
Sanchez.
how North Carolina react. The goal kick is Louisville's, though. Men in the clouds by Sonis. Excuse me, that was Taylor Flint. Industrious.
Industrious.
The anchor of
The
Louisville's
industrious
midfield.
Taylor Flint, Chad.
Well, I like this from Louisville, just starting play over, recycling a bit. Bev Yanez talked about just establishing the rhythm. Where's the space? Where's the opposition? There's going to be moments to go in transition, but with the 1-0 lead as well, they're going to have to pick their moments to settle in possession as well and try to make the Courage defend as they are now.
Right. Fisher linking up play. Now Flint. Now wide to Sears. DeMello wants the ball in the box. Didn't make contact with it. Here's Sonis from point-blank range.
She just didn't put any power on it.
Casey Murphy did well enough. Hardly had time to blink.
And they're continuing to go through Emma Sears. I like this early ball. The run from DeMello draws 2 players across. Sonis has a good first touch. That's just got to go more towards the back post. She's got to get around it a little bit, but that's an impressive first touch with it skipping off the ground off the ball from Sears.
So all of a sudden, it's the visitors under the cosh. Here's DeMello.
Hope she gets another turn in
Crowd.
the national team, too.
Gets the cross off.
Oh, Louisville with all the pressure.
Always try to play out of the back, no matter the pressure. North Carolina, and
Good
doing
job.
so successfully here.
They did well.
Berkeley. Tyler Lucy turning. Got clipped. She'll be dangerous. Cutting in from the wing. Carla Lucy has scored 7 game-winning goals in her career.
Oh, they changed the sound. What'd they do?
That's Jaden Shaw over the ball. Katie Lund organizing, instructing. Shaw floats it right into the welcoming gloves of Katie Lund. Disappointed look, understandably.
That was a little bit too floated up there, but also the defenders of Louisville really did well to track the play in that moment. But I think we're going to see Manaka and Shaw get more involved in this play. They're really looking to create that 4v3, 5v3 in the center area. Ashley Sanchez coming in. You saw moments of how comfortable they can be in possession, but Louisville so far has stayed organized and let them float in those spaces without getting too drawn in.
Too much sting on that pass for Borges. Adi Borges, the São Paulo-born Brazilian. First ever Brazilian player to score a hat-trick in a Women's World Cup. Did so against Panama. Sonis. Borges connecting the dots. Sonis into DeMello. That's good defending, authoritative as well from Kurtz. And she's rewarded with a goal kick. Three straight Iron Woman seasons for Kaylee Kurtz. That's absolutely amazing for any athlete.
And she's been critical to what the Courage can do, and their director of performance does a lot for them and making sure players like her can stay on the field. And they talk a lot about it, the Courage, and how that's helped her, but she is just so good in the 1v1 defending, but also is the organizer back there and loves to make sure that she's the person speaking and organizing for this group, especially in those transition moments we were talking about.
Broke the NWSL record for consecutive minutes last May.
It's a good ball.
The streak still active. Lucy. Offside.
Offsides. All right, now they're really screwing with the sound.
Racing Louisville missed the playoffs by 4 points last season behind the Chicago Stars. They lost 4 of their last 5 matches. 1 win against the Thorns in that run. It was a precipitous fall. Had started the campaign on a 6-match unbeaten run, although only 1 of those resulted in a win. That was against the Royals. Already mentioned it, but bears repeating. Racing beat the Courage 2-1 in their last meeting in September, overcoming a first-half deficit. Bethany Balser with the winning goal, a penalty in the 92nd minute. And their first win in 12 matchups in all competitions. They drew in the Summer Cup as well, 1-1, lost from 12 steps out.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is always a tight matchup because the North Carolina Courage has not been outpossessed in a game since 2022 in a regular season game. And so everyone knows when they play them that they're going to show that sophistication and that composure and being able to possess and control the game. But you have to have a game plan to be able to come up against them. And Louisville has shown that they can come back from those deficits, as you mentioned, and still able to get results.
They've managed to assert themselves here after scoring. They've had more of the ball. Sonis asking a little bit too much of Courtney Peterson. Still made it difficult for O'Sullivan. Not even a second thought about clearing the ball, and that was a lovely little twist of the hips from Berkeley to shake off her mark. Getting herself into trouble, Ryan Williams. The entire team is. Here's Borges, window to shoot. Lost her footing. Sears on the rebound.
Emma Sears
has a strike, daisy cutter.
But I like that from Louisville. It was relentless from Malay. She recognizes a moment where in these conditions, backwards pass to Casey Murphy, why not? She's extremely quick, and what that does is it entices everyone to go with her. So Bevian has talked about that. You've got to pick your moments to take advantage and put them under pressure, and it ends up with an opportunity.
Shown yesterday, so
At the
it's
top
not
of your
like
screen, you can see the results from earlier matches. Orlando Pride making easy work of the Chicago Stars, who were without Mal Swanson. Sanchez out to Manaka, waits for company. Williams, Kurtz, now Berkeley. Those three defenders played more passes than any other player in the NWSL last season. Here's Jaden Shaw. Shaw! Trying to go corner pocket. Little shimmy and a shake.
Well, this was great from Shaw because she gets into a little bit of space. Lucy finds her in the penalty area. Once she receives it in the penalty area, all the advantages to her. No one wants to foul, but I love that deception right there. Doesn't miss by much. You've got to make sure you know where Shaw is when she's in that penalty box.
A first threat from Jaden Shaw. And it seems as if Borges is down in some pain, favoring that left ankle.
Well, and this would be tough for Louisville because she has always been a great player, but I like her in that lower position. She's getting control of the ball. She's dictating the rhythm for them when they do win it, instead of do we go quick or do we keep it? And she's been a big catalyst with that so far in this game of just establishing possession and a rhythm for Racing Louisville when they do get in possession.
A well-rounded midfielder. Can actually say the prototypical 8.
Yes, definitely. She definitely covers a lot of ground, and she has that creativity of a 10, but her coming from a bit of a lower position allows that freedom for DeMello to float in and out of spaces ahead of her and Flint. So it's a really great combination in midfield for Louisville, not only on the ball, but also in breaking up play.
Here are the upcoming matches on Ion. Seattle will take on Gotham FC, and then Angel City.
Let's go Gotham!
Against San Diego on ESPN2 tomorrow. So still a lot on the menu. Ani Borges is up and looks to have recovered from the knock she took. As you said, Casey, it would be a big loss. She's imposed herself so far in this game. We're 25 minutes in. Racing Louisville with the lead. Emma Sears with the goal. Trying to build on a fantastic rookie season that saw her score the most goals of any rookie for the club and also get her call-ups for the U.S. women's national team, most recently in the She Believes Cup.
And what that does for a player is huge, and just getting that first call-up, getting those first caps, and knowing that you had a good rookie season, it is enormous to be able to have that and know that you have the confidence to play at that level, and then bring that back into your club environment. So to do that in your first season is incredibly impressive, and you're already seeing her start 2025 with just a lot of confidence and wanting to make a difference here for Louisville.
And she recognizes that there will be a lot more expectation on her shoulders this season, understandably. Throw in here for Racing, who are in no hurry. Louisville have never won their home opener. They've never lost either. 4 draws. So trending in the right direction tonight. Goal kick.
Chat. I almost forgot. Some of you texted me.
Pensive Sean Nahas. North Carolina did struggle last season away from home. Had trouble putting the ball in the back of the net. O'Sullivan getting the ball out of trouble. Right, collects it. Shaw was nipping at her heels.
And as it so often does, a goal against can really disrupt your rhythm because the Courage started really well. There was a mid-block defensively for Louisville. Courage had a lot of possession. They looked very comfortable on the ball, but it's just kind of taken them a bit out of sorts now. And so they have to reestablish that piece. And it just takes putting your foot on the ball a little bit and maybe some more forward runs from an Ashley Sanchez, from a Tyler Lucy that could help them get out of their own end.
Going behind troubled them last season, North Carolina. Just 3 wins when conceding the first goal, 11 losses, 2 draws. They'll need to buck the trend tonight if they're to get anything out of this game. Sonis, high defensive line from North Carolina. Floats it towards the 6, back post, the header, the save, the rebound off the post and out. No, double save. And it was Ari Borges ghosting in.
Wow.
Unobstructed as well.
Well, what I love about this from Borges is she gets the initial header. It's a great service across. It goes straight down. It's textbook heading, but she also follows her shot in, and gets her own rebound off of Casey Murphy. What a great save. And then the post helps out a little bit there for the Courage, but a good set piece.
Well, double save as well, because Casey Murphy got another touch to it before it hit the upright. So second corner here for Louisville. Punched
punch
away
out.
by
She
Murphy.
could have caught that. She should have caught that, actually.
Sent in once again by Peterson. Her deliveries have been threatening. Sonis. Dispossessed by Manaka. Wasn't impressed with the razzle-dazzle from Sonis.
Razzle-dazzle.
O'Sullivan. Manaka. Jaden Shaw.
She lost it.
Aaron pass. Had 2 options on the left. Now here's Kayla Fisher off to the races, but not fast enough.
That's really good from Casey Murphy, just becoming that extra defender coming out. They're not having to chase towards their own goal. You don't want a lot of back passes, so I like that, her just ability to come in and support behind the back line and snuffs out that attack.
Casey Murphy, fresh off of her first Iron Woman season. 6 shutouts.
Need a new computer, chat.
Sears keeps it in play. Is away from Rao. Cuts it back.
Oh, boom.
Here's Flint.
Oh, off the post.
Rattles the upright. That would have been an absolutely gorgeous goal.
You can almost see the thought process coming. I'm not going for power. I'm going to place this into that upper corner. And so incredibly close. You could see her open up her body and hit it. I love that from Taylor Flint.
Here she is again. Her most impressive metrics last season were defensive. She led the league in tackles and interceptions, but showing there that she's got plenty of fuel in those boots to score some goals.
You can see why she played in that attacking midfield role with the San Diego Wave. She can score goals not only on set pieces, but look at this. Great composure to come in. What technique. If not for
so
the post,
close.
that is one of the most beautiful goals right there that it could have been. I love that off the right foot, bending it outside the post, trying to curl it in.
Casey Murphy could only admire that shot, as we did. Here's a good look at Taylor Flint. And was acquired, as you said, from the Wave in January of 2024. And she's become a mainstay in Louisville's midfield. Shaw, Sanchez.
She sure
Lucy at the
has.
back post.
She also got married after coming over to Louisville, so it's good on her.
And they will let it run. The rain keeps pelting down, but the turf keeps holding up. Hasn't really impacted the play so far. It certainly hasn't been a cagey affair.
No, it has, and both of these teams enjoy different spells of possession as they play, and you're right, like it speaks to the technical ability of these groups. It is not easy to play in these conditions, but the confidence, the technical execution that they have is clear to see as they go, and North Carolina, as expected, has the majority of possession, but Louisville has found some moments as well.
Jaden Shaw catches up with that one, quick cross. Peterson was alert to the danger. Borges takes a knock, advantage is given. Here's Savannah DeMello. Options right and left. Sears. Fisher in the box. Sears goes for it herself. Patted away by Murphy. Insistence from Sonis. Sonis. Peterson. Swings it in. More in hope than expectation. Falls to Millay. Mello.
Why is this thing so far behind?
One back by Taylor Flint. That's what she's there for. Sears, she's been a menace. Lucy. Doing more defending than she expected. Raining down a little bit harder. You can see it, you can hear it.
There's not a lot of fans
I
there.
think we're also seeing that they want to take shots, they want to force saves because there could be rebounds. Those are the kind of things that could happen in this game, crossing from distance. They're using those opportunities to test Casey Murphy.
I was mentioning North Carolina's away record. They really suffered from road woes. 10 of their 11 defeats last season were away from Wake Met Soccer Park. That's the third poorest away record in the league. They lost their first 7 road matches, incredibly.
Well, and that's the thing that they have to kind of settle in on, too, is not think too much about that. And also, the only goal that they've given up is a set piece. So they're in this game, and that's what you have to do as a leader on this team. And I'm sure O'Sullivan encouraging her players, this coaching staff as well, is continue to play. And I think that's the thing that hasn't really happened for the North Carolina Courage, is to getting on the ball enough.
Sanchez, good run from Manaka. Still Sanchez. Trying to turn the corner. Has help from Williams. Tracked by Sonis. Back to Sanchez.
Good move.
Away from Peterson. It's a good delivery. Nobody at the near post.
Oh.
And on the follow-up, Manaka sends it into the stands. A momentary keepsake for the brave souls who showed up at the stadium tonight. Full house or thereabouts was expected. A week full of sunshine in Louisville until today. Did you enjoy playing in this kind of weather?
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I think you knew that there was going to be some interesting qualities. One, you could run all day in this, which was always great. But also, if you had the technical ability, which these players do, you can clean it up and you can go about your business as usual. So I didn't mind it at all, honestly, and more apt to slide tackle. I didn't always slide tackle, but I was more apt to do it in this weather for sure.
If you liked a crunching tackle.
Those players definitely love this weather for sure.
Everybody likes to make a statement with their cleats. Williams, best 11 second team for the right back last season.
And I'd like to see her continue to get up in the flank. When we saw her at her best is when she is flying up in that wide channel, getting in that play with Ashley Sanchez. And a lot of times in build-up, she's playing a little bit lower today, which is a little bit different than what we're used to seeing from her. But I think if she can get more on the ball, more forward, she just becomes so dangerous for the Courage.
Kurtz.
Yeah, why was Flint the only one up there? Ooh, look at her legs tangled.
She's
no
become
foul.
Familiar with the turf.
Emma Sears.
Sprinting ahead, magnetizing 2.
Good ball. It's DeMello.
DeMello, who tried to play in Kayla Fisher, who wasn't on the same page.
Unfortunate.
Multifaceted player, versatile, can play midfield, can play as a striker.
She definitely plays more of that false 9 position. It is a different look for Racing Louisville. So when they win possession, she's a little bit lower. They usually can't go
Good
right
move by
away in
Sanchez.
transition, but she's done a good job of keeping it and then springing the play wide.
Remarkably earned more yellow cards than any other player in the league. A quarter of Louisville's last season, 10. Lucy, away by Flint.
She is a menace
Here's
sometimes.
Fisher. Kurtz. Squeezing Louisville in now, North Carolina. Manaka. Very few passing avenues, though. Berkeley. Lucy.
Oh,
Lucy
that
pulls
shot?
the trigger.
Nice.
Awkward bounce. You can see how Philly Rao pinches in as an extra midfielder to afford more space to Tyler Lucy.
That's a good job by
There's
Lund,
usually
though.
5 or 6 players in that central area, and you're right. It's to give Lucy the space to operate and get shots like this off. I don't mind that because with the conditions, that could skip. There could be a rebound. Like to see more players running and trying to get in front of Katie Lund. But that's what we're seeing from the Courage is Manaka, Shaw, even Rao going into that middle space, and they're able to go forward.
All gifted to North Carolina. Here's Lucy.
Another shot.
Lucy!
Oh. Good attempt.
A rare mistake in this game from Racing Louisville. Denise O'Sullivan just pounced on the loose ball. And you can see how North Carolina are pushing up their lines, trying to make it difficult for Louisville to build, and they've insisted on building themselves. We talked a lot about the possession game that North Carolina plays, but Louisville, no stranger to keeping the ball at their feet as well.
Louisville definitely wants to keep the ball. They want to try to play through the thirds when possible, but recognize the moments when to go a little bit more forward, a little bit more direct with purpose. And so they do try to balance that, but they're definitely not afraid to play out of the back, and they have really good movement throughout their back line, looking to advance through the thirds.
Good ball movement here.
Sanchez. Manaka has tended to drift to this right side to create those overloads unsuccessfully. Diligent defending here from Aaron Wright. Voted captain.
Good corner. Good job.
And it's
By
a corner
Manaka
kick
there.
for North Carolina, their second. Haven't really said Philly Rao's name too much tonight. Euro runner-up with Germany against England. Rao headed away. Tyler Flint, taller than everybody else.
You can definitely tell the Courage are trying to figure out how to break this low block down. It's really deep, and Louisville, it's like they're saying, we know that you're going to be able to possess at times, so they go into this 4-4-2. It becomes a 4-2-4 at times that's so incredibly low. So how do they draw them out? How do they exploit some spaces? And a lot of that is Rao kind of getting inverted in that inside channel, but they're not
Fabio, I'm
in
good.
that space, and that can make it difficult.
Tony Borges enjoyed that tackle.
Wow. Didn't even know people were chatting. Sorry, chat.
Ashley Sanchez switching flanks momentarily. Lucy coming to the right, although she's central right now. Here's Manaka. Quickly closed down.
Bad
Gives the
touch.
ball away to Sonis, who does the same promptly. Jackson.
No.
That's a good ball out wide to Williams. Marauding forward.
Oh.
That one slapped away.
Wow. Where was...
You had mentioned that you wanted to see Ryan Williams attack down her flank. She hasn't too much because she's been building down the middle.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to see, and this is why, because she can go there. She has really good service. Look at that prep touch. It's perfect. She can go right into it, forces the save from Lund, and there's a lot of players for the Courage in the penalty box, but it doesn't quite get to anyone. More of this from Ryan Williams than just that fluidity of her going forward just becomes incredibly dangerous for the Courage and provides
Still
a different
1-1
element
in
in that
Utah
possession
Bay.
through the central of
56th
midfield.
minute.
Katie Lund hasn't been too busy tonight. She conceded the joint most goals last season of any goalkeeper, along with Jane Campbell of the Houston Dash, who conceded a few yesterday.
A play-on moment, I think.
Lovely ball to DeMello.
DeMello,
On her left peg, was leaning back, but intricate from Louisville.
Yeah, and it all starts with Borges with that tackle in midfield. She's done so much in there. Flint, we know, breaks that play, but Borges has been really good as well today, starting that in those moments of when to press so that she can play into the feet of Sonis, DeMello, and they can go forward.
It's interesting that you said that North Carolina is trying to figure out a way to break down Louisville. As for Louisville, they've shown that they have various ways of threatening Casey Murphy's goal, either down the wings or through pockets. DeMello exploiting those. Here she is again, opening it up for Sears. DeMello. Sears. Recycling possession to Ellie Jean. And now Erin Wright, two-time NWSL Best 11, 2016 Defender of the Year nominee.
That's good, Fabio.
Oh, that's a good turn.
We
from
appreciate
Fisher.
that.
Louisville tightening the screws again as we edge ever closer to halftime. 44 minutes on the clock.
Good ball.
Manaka.
Good job, Lund.
Right idea and not badly executed. Katie Lund was alert to the danger.
Well, that's what you can see the Courage can do. It was a good press from Louisville, but Ashley Sanchez does really well with Manaka to play out of that. And I think in this game, speed of play needs to be a little bit better from the Courage. That's so hard to do with the conditions as they are, because you don't want to speed it up to then have the technical execution go down. But if they don't move the ball a little bit quicker, Racing Louisville can stay in their defensive shape in transition.
Excellent tackle there from Taylor Flint, dispossessing Riley Jackson. Isolated Kayla Fisher. We'll get 2 minutes of stoppage. Here's Courtney Peterson. Well, you're saying that North Carolina have to be faster, but that would perhaps mean, given the conditions, moving away, deviating from their blueprint, and we know that Sean Nahas doesn't necessarily like to do that.
No, I'm talking about speed of thought, speed of pass. It's not about kicking the ball long, it's about doing it just a little bit quicker. So it doesn't really deviate from their identity. It's just doing it with more intention and before Louisville can stay into their shape. So they have to move and be less disciplined in the way they defend. So I think if that thought goes a little bit quicker, they have the tools to be able to try to break down Louisville's back line.
Sanchez was open if you just looked that way.
Sanchez.
Too much.
Those were the words of Casey White, former U.S. international, now a coach, master in the X's and O's. This half now petering out to a close. And Louisville will be perfectly happy going into the locker room at a standstill. They have the lead. Emma Sears with the goal. But some danger here to contend with. Manaka, the pullback. Lucy!
Oh, what a block.
Jean putting her body on the line. Corner number 3
Holy
for North
cow.
Carolina. One last throw of the dice in this first stanza.
This is good play right here. Well done by Shaw just to help this on. Lucy playing in the one touch. Otherwise, the timing would have been off. She's the recipient of the pass back from Manaka. And Ellie Jean does really well to get her body in front, get those hands behind her back, and make sure that she's able to block the shot.
We don't want that handball law to rear its ugly head. Rao near post, almost all the way in for an Olympico, but a foul was spotted. I believe it was Casey Lund who was impeded as she tried to shift towards the post. Manaka. Right. Unceremonious. The seconds ticking down. Manaka looking for options.
Good.
Has none.
Does the sound? Can you hear me?
Monroy.
Like I have no feedback.
The first half to a close. Emma Sears with the only goal of the game, 13 minutes in. What say you, Casey White?
I think it's a bit of a chess match. Both of these teams have made really good decisions on when to go forward, how to go forward, and Louisville stayed stingy defensively and made the most of their set-piece opportunity. But what I've liked the most from Louisville is that they haven't just forced it forward when they win possession. They have made decisions to keep it as well as a team and make the courage defend. And I think that'll bode well for them in the second half with the lead.
Louisville only one win in 12 previous matchups against North Carolina. They have the 1-goal lead.
I'd rather talk than type.
And the goal scorer will be joining us now. Emma Sears, 13
Emma
minutes
Sears.
in, your first goal of the season. How are the conditions playing into the way you guys are playing?
Honestly, I think that something that we're looking to do is get after North Carolina in transition. I think that with the field being slick, that's helping us. But other than that, I'm just having fun. It's fun to play in the rain, and you know, for us to be up 1-0 at halftime, I think that's going to motivate us into the second half.
We were just discussing that. The rain's always fun, Emma, but what did you like from your team in that transitional piece, and what do you expect to see more in the second half in that regard?
I think that our team is doing a really good job getting numbers forward in transition. Sometimes in the past, I feel like it might have just been me on the ball, keeping my head up and trying to find somebody for a cross. But right now, I feel like we've had at least 2 players in the box, and so just going to look to continue that in the second half.
Emma, appreciate your time. Time to get dry. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Emma Sears scored 5 goals last season. She already has 1 on the campaign as Racing Louisville have the 1-goal lead against the North Carolina Courage. More to come. Stay with us.
The Archer.
The NWSL is
She needs to do the Spanish Archer.
in the world.
You're watching Avengers Assemble.
I channel my inner Dennis Rodman.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk then, like a little bit more.
Has grown, and it's awesome to see.
As far as Twitch, I created a new channel, but I've tried to stream games there, and they automatically dump me, so I can't do that there. And I'm only streaming the NWSL Plus matches here because there's no copyright money issue there with that until we get some clearance. I am going to create a new channel just for that though, and on YouTube. YouTube gives you a lot more bitrate movement. Like Twitch only gives you like 3,000 bitrate. YouTube gives you 600-800, so that's maxed out. So that's why it looks better. But yeah, so this year it looks like just NWSL Plus matches here on YouTube. Everything else, I actually have some I have a Discord channel. But I need to update my other computer. It's struggling to handle right now. So that's what the over there the other game's on right now. Utah and Bay.
And take care of everyone in the family.
So we'll do some here. The rest are on my Discord.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients.
But there's like zero feedback
add up to
from
big savings with over
this. Like
$600 in digital coupons each week, plus up to $1 off per gallon at the pump.
I have to look into how
At
YouTube
Kroger,
works,
you
I guess.
Get big flavors and big
But
savings.
it gives you a whole bunch of analytics, but it, like
Kroger.
nothing
Fresh for
on
everyone.
how really the stream's
Watch
going.
this.
Oh, that's a loud commercial. Holy cow. Yikes. But I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate it all the time. So I'm just trying not to, you know, get banned on everything. That's the problem, right? Really miss my Twitch channel, but
watch us fly. Watch us break. Watch us burn.
you know, thousands of hours of sports, 5,000 followers, 400 concurrent viewers all the time, and they're just like, nope, you can't do it anymore. Such a bother. We really promoted NWSL those 2 years we were in operation there. So
Racing Louisville have a 1-goal lead against the North Carolina Courage as we take a look
it's just
into
disappointing.
the
Anyway, I have to use the
Slugger
restroom. I'll be
factory
back.
where the
Don't go
best
far.
bats in baseball are made.
Oh, mind the mess.
Well, we'll talk about our game in a little bit, but first, we need to review everything that happened to this point, so a chance to look at the highlights, and I know you've thoroughly enjoyed the first games of the season.
I have. I'm just glad it's opening weekend of the 2025 season, and we have been gifted with some really great performances, a lot of goals, a lot of attack, and I love that. And there's been 3 games so far that have been really exciting. Houston, Washington was a great start to the 2025 season. Washington goes on the road. They were relentless in their pressing, and they were just able to get rewarded for this second goal. It's off the Chloe Ricketts shot. Ashley Hatch goes in. It would be the second goal of the game, what would end up being the winner against the Houston Dash.
Dash had a lot of the ball, but the chances fell to the Spirit. Lots of chances for the Orlando Pride. A bit of a smackdown against the Chicago Stars.
And the Orlando Pride started 2025 just like they finished it 2024. Barbara Banda unleashes for 2 goals. So incredibly dangerous in the final third. Chicago Stars has a rough outing. And then today, earlier, Kansas City hosted Portland Thorns, and they started off flying. Shawinga with a great first touch and finish for the first goal. Michelle Cooper unleashes a rocket for the second, and then Dabinho would get on the board herself, got the assist earlier, continues her run, is in the right place at the right time, gets the 3rd goal for the 3-1 win over Portland.
A lot of people have Kansas City as the Shield favorites, and they showed today why that's the case. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule. On Ion tonight at 10, you can watch Seattle take on Gotham FC, and tomorrow on ESPN2, Angel City against San Diego at 6:50 Eastern. So plenty more goals on the menu for NWSL fans, and there's a budding fan right now who's enjoying her team's performance. Highlights and more on the other side.
The NWSL is on Ion. Ali St. and the Royals take on Bay FC. Then Lindy and Zolo in the Rain take on Gotham FC. Coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m.
Ion, it's on. Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome!
I like it.
I love it.
Get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 Corolla or all hybrid Camry. Lease a Corolla from $239 a month or Camry from $299 a month.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Watch this.
No excuses. We pick it up, we control the game. Let somebody know. All right, we're smart. Let's go.
Watch us move. Watch us fly. Watch us break. Watch us burn. Watch us rise. Watch us rule. Just you watch.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Hey, there he is. Let's do this.
Well,
Hey, you ready? Yeah.
that would be cool, but
All right.
Save on the adventurous best-selling RAV4
we'll
with
I'll
4.99
have to look into
APR
stuff
finance.
because
Or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $339 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
want to be able to
greening it to
continue
driving
bringing
today.
games to everybody.
Come on!
Toyota, let's go places.
The NWSL is on Ion. Ali
a lot of
Seymour and the Royals take on Bay
legal
FC.
stuff we're trying to get around.
Then Linby and Zolo in the rain take on Gotham FC.
And that's the biggest
Begins
hurdle.
Tonight at 7 p.m.
Ion, it's on.
But like I want,
Imagine yourself in a new
since
Toyota.
this is my personal YouTube channel, I kind of want to get like one that's just for this stuff. I had one. I started like put one video
Now
up.
get 2.99 APR financing on a new built-in the USA Tundra.
I didn't return
or up
to it
$3,000 customer cash. Or
in
lease
a
new
time that
Tundra
was
from
deemed
just
by YouTube,
$449 a month.
and they deleted
driving
that
it
channel
today. Come on!
Toyota,
because I didn't
let's
use
go
it
places.
enough. So, but now that
Well, if you're into horse racing, Louisville is your city.
I've read
a look inside Churchill Downs, home of the
some stuff
Kentucky
on
Derby.
the NWSL, this should be legal as long as
But we're here to
it's being
talk about
broadcast
soccer,
on
and specifically
NWSL Plus.
to talk about the
so
first half that we just saw
should be no
between
copyright
Louisville
problems
and North
here.
Carolina. What did you make of it?
Two teams that are really trying to figure
Not that we
each other
got
out,
in
I think,
trouble
the
for
first half is
copyright
what we saw, and
at all,
more opportunities
broadcasting
for
NWSL
Louisville in the
stuff.
final third. I think that if you're the North Carolina Courage, you're
In
going to want
fact,
that possession
remember
to
the days
turn
when
into more opportunities on
CBS
Frank
used to
in
talk
the
about
second
us on
half.
Twitch.
Here's a look at the very best action from
We're
the
doing
first
so good for
45.
the league.
And it would start with Emma Sears
But Twitch
getting the
decided
opportunity
to
for the corner kick. She's right there in front of goal. A great service by
end
Courtney
our
Peterson to the
broadcast.
back post. Wonderful framing from Aaron
For no
Wright.
reason
And then
other
a
than
powerful finish, opportunistic to put
I had too
Louisville
many
on top
Twitch
1-0.
accounts,
And they would
they said.
continue to go. When they would look in transition, it would normally be to
banned
find
them
Emma
all.
Sears. Another
All of
great
them
opportunity for
indefinitely.
Sonis, but Casey Murphy comes up with the
Not
save.
because I was breaking the law or copyright or anything.
Mello involved as well.
Just because they deemed that
Save.
was
Sonis in the first 5
had
minutes
too many
was
channels.
influential. Here she is delivering the cross.
And Borges would get ahead on this. Casey Murphy makes two incredibly important saves, but I love this service from Sonis. It's floated up.
We'll see.
It's a powerful textbook header. Just not able to get that second goal was Racing Louisville, but they would continue to press.
This is
Taylor
such a
Flint
good
coming
shot
out
by
of her
Taylor.
holding mid position. An absolutely beautiful take off the right foot. But again, it's Emma Sears creating problems down that right side, and this one was almost in.
The goal frame, one of the protagonists tonight, saving North Carolina's blushes. They're down a goal to
74th
nil
minute,
as
1-1
Louisville
still in
is
Utah.
looking for only their
Day
second win against tonight's rivals.
The NWSL is on Ion. Ali Sentnor and the Royals take on Bay FC. Then Linby and Zolo in the rain take on Gotham FC. Coverage begins
Maybe I'll just
tonight at
start
7
streaming all
p.m.
here and just see if YouTube dumps
Here's a
me out.
twist on your
Dumps me
typical
out, I don't
banking
know.
options. What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
The next big thing is here, and it fits.
Need to get some overlays and stuff too. Like I have turned all of that stuff since we got canned by Twitch.
Cash prizes.
All this stuff went away. It does make noise though when someone
The North
subscribes.
Carolina Education Lottery.
Go figure. I don't know how where that is set up right now.
Chances
But
to win.
maybe it should just start all over.
Watch this.
No excuses. Pick it up, we control
Watch us move. Watch us fly. Watch us break. Watch us burn. Watch us rise. Watch us rule. Just you watch.
The NWSL is on Ion. Ali Sentnor and the Royals take on Bay FC. Then, Lynn Bianzolo and the Rain take on Gotham FC. Coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m.
Ion, it's on.
Welcome back to Lynn Family Stadium, where Racing Louisville have a 1-goal lead against the North Carolina Courage. Emma Sears has scored the only goal of the game. She scored 5 last season.
Get new gum.
A record for a Louisville rookie. And she's
Look at her
all
smile.
smiles. And why not Casey White after her first half performance?
Well, I think it's important, too, to recognize that when you've had a good rookie year, your follow-up the next year can be incredibly difficult because now the expectations are that much higher. So the perceived expectation on a player can be hard to manage. So getting that first goal, and not only the goal, but being able to generate some opportunities, be dangerous for her, I think that we're going to see her off and running.
The limelight is hot as the ball is back in play at Lynn Family Stadium. Racing Louisville looking for what would be only their second ever win against the North Carolina Courage. And here they are into the attack.
Not that good of a shot.
DeMello wrapping her boot around the ball. Hurried it a little bit, had more time than I think she thought. We talked to her on Thursday, and she said that at the beginning of her career, she was so focused on the metrics, how many goals, how many assists she could get. But now it's a lot more about how much influence she can have on the game.
There's something somewhat freeing about that, is about influence and expanding that metric. How many dangerous opportunities are you setting up? And that's how she's trying to look at it more. I definitely believe after talking with her, she still wants to score goals and she wants to be dangerous, but she's expanding the way she looks at how she can have influence in the game and be able to help this team.
5 goals last season, 8 the year before that. DeMello, who made her international debut in the World Cup in 2023. Here's Tyler Lucy. Going for a run, pulling the trigger. She's not been shy about taking shots.
She definitely has a more direct approach to her game than a lot of the players in the North Carolina Courage jerseys, and I think that balance is really important for them. Not everyone always coming to feet, not everyone looking to play, but looking to penetrate directly, and that's what she brings to this roster.
One-time champion with the Portland Thorns, who found it a little bit thorny today in Kansas City. Excuse the pun. Here's a good look at Riley Jackson, only 19, from Roswell, Georgia.
And we really didn't talk about her a lot in the first half. She, coming into this game, playing alongside O'Sullivan, provides a little bit of a different look for the Courage. She does a really good job defensively and helps defend that transition because she's positioned alongside the captain.
Lucy taking some contact in the face.
Was that a boot or was that her hand?
Painful
I missed it.
nonetheless.
We'll just take a look right
That
there.
was a hand.
Just came in for
Shoulder?
the tackle and just a little bit of confrontation there. But like you said, it didn't look like anything in it. But it looks like she's going to be okay in that moment. But just want to kind of expand on what I was saying with Riley Jackson. I think last year, Narumi was here, played a little bit higher, and so O'Sullivan was a little bit on her own in those transition moments, but Riley Jackson comes from a lower position, and I think that helps defend against those moments, especially against a team like Racing Louisville, who's looking to take advantage.
Narumi now with the Spirit. Jean. Aaron Wright. Wearing the captain's armband on her right sleeve, which is unusual. Here's Manaka Matsukubu. Playing in Lucy.
Oh, good balls.
Lucy to Sanchez. Sanchez looking for Lucy once again, but there wasn't too much real estate.
I think that's the problem with North Carolina, is that final third pass. That was a problem last year.
An assertive start to the second 45.
It's definitely a
for the
problem
Courage.
this game.
They won the most matches last year since 2019. They won 12. In 2019, of course, they did the double.
What?
Looking to reclaim the glory days. And the consensus about North Carolina was last season that they were impressive. You respect the kind of football that they play, but they weren't particularly frightening. They weren't that threatening. But they're threatening here. Manaka Sanchez has an overlap, but she'll do it herself. Ball deflected, bounces in front of Lucy. That could have been very dangerous.
When you mentioned the threatening piece, they had Bianca St. George, they had Haley Hopkins, they brought in a Tyler Lucy to just try to have a little bit more behind because Caroline wasn't a part of the roster for the majority of the year. But you're right, I think they're always going to be a possession-oriented team, but they want to have that give and take of when to play it behind versus when to possess.
Fisher. Any team would lose a little bit of threat if they lost a player like Caroline, who was the MVP 100%. In 2023, now in Manchester City colors. Sanchez. O'Sullivan.
So one of the things that Louisville's doing is they're comfortable letting you possess around the back line. They just don't want you to penetrate through their middle channel, and they go a little bit more direct there, the Courage, which is unlike them, but it actually works out.
Jaden Shaw. She hasn't seen as much of the ball as you would expect her to, want her to.
Well, one of the things that's happening is Taylor Flint and Borges are sitting and they're pinching in Sears and Sonis to take care of any players popping into the outside space like a Rao or like a Manaka or an Ashley Sanchez. And so they're matching up with Shaw in the middle there, and there's kind of a box around her of those two center backs and two holding mids. It makes it hard to operate in that space.
Trying to squeeze her out of the game. That will have been part of the conversation that Bev Yanez had with her players, making sure that the most threatening of opponents were starved off the ball. Bev Yanez, who, as I said at the top of the broadcast, preached intensity in the preseason, and we've seen intensity from her players. Here's Malay. DeMello. Releasing Sears, always a willing runner. Flag stays down, one-on-one with Rao, who does enough, but concedes the corner. Flag was raised in the end.
It did look like it was, but it wasn't 100% sure on that. But you can tell that Louisville knows that's the space that is being left open, that if they're able to find it, Emma Sears is going to have a lot of space. Not because Rao can't get back, because she's involved in the attack so much from a possession standpoint that that's the space that can be occupied.
And she moves centrally as well.
100%.
Meanwhile, the rain unrelenting. Well, I say that, it stopped for a little bit during the break. Manaka was making the run, went unrewarded. Malay and ball.
And that's unfortunate from Riley Jackson, but I like that she's on the front foot, stepping a little higher, and we're seeing the Courage build with two center backs now and getting Ryan Williams in a more advanced position. She is so incredibly impactful as a right back when she is penetrating higher up the field, and that's already a change in this second half that I think bodes well for the Courage.
Malay, DeMello, give and go. Flint does so many of the things that go unnoticed in the heart of midfield. 2023 Shield winner with San Diego. Actually scored her first professional goal in this very stadium.
Foul by Lucy. She gonna get a card?
She was playing her trade for the Orlando Pride.
She's gonna start her process of getting cards?
Too, and you brought up the playoffs. She's like 100%. That's a focus, and I love.
Wait,
I love
that
hearing
wasn't
out of a
Lucy,
player
was
that
it?
plays the kind of role she does. O'Sullivan is
O'Sullivan.
looks like
My
a little bit
bad.
of shoulder to shoulder, maybe a half yard that DeMello had on her in that moment, but I think it's a little bit harsh there.
No, pushing the back with the forearm is always a foul. Come on.
Earlier one where she got all ball. Good look at Casey Murphy, Bridgewater, New Jersey native, Olympic gold medalist.
Peterson kind of looks like
Peterson and Sonis responsible for so many of the set pieces. Something
they
spotted.
actually played it early.
It's going to be a retake. Referee says wait for the whistle.
When Sonis goes to lift this, I'll be honest with you, with these conditions, if they leave any type of hole, I would just put it on the ground or skipping as much as possible, because you've got all those runners on the back post area. Yes, you can float it in, hope for a rebound or maybe something deflecting, but cause havoc when you do this set piece at this angle.
We're hearing that Louisville is about to make some changes. More on that in a moment. It's as you were. Sonis, no subterfuge this time. And no accuracy on the delivery either. O'Sullivan building from the back. Williams. We saw her overlap once or twice effectively. Fisher judged to have committed a foul. No secret that she likes to get stuck in. And here's the aforementioned change with Marissa DeGrande.
She's short.
Checking in for Adi Borges. Somewhat surprising, although she is walking gingerly. She took a knock in the middle of the first half.
She's had a really good 55 minutes. I think she's been extremely influential, not only almost scoring for that second goal, but her positioning defensively very good next to Taylor Flint. But now DeGrande will come in. They're going to have to make sure that they get this organized as quick as possible, so there's not much change as they go throughout the rest of the game.
Marissa DeGrande, a regular starter last season. Pinched in with 1 goal and 2 assists, a former 4th-round pick by the Orlando Pride. Lucy, of course, no more draft. We can talk more about that in a bit.
Ooh.
And that was a no-holds-barred slide tackle from Taylor Flint. To her credit, Filirao, well, I was going to say didn't complain too much, but she wanted either the throw or the corner.
That was a pretty reckless challenge. I think Taylor Flint's a little lucky that nothing was called on that, but
that was
I like the mentality
mostly
of going
clean.
in, closing down
Mostly
space.
clean. She got ball.
Earlier.
All the cleats were in front or behind the other player. She didn't knee her in the foot.
Wet turf, and that's the first
but that's pretty
tackle of
pretty
that
clean,
type
if you ask
that we
me.
have seen tonight.
Aggressive, yes.
And that might be why our center
Clean.
official's calling it a little bit tighter early on, because if that happens early in the game, it's only going to continue to escalate as emotion goes. So it makes sense for how she's managing the game here.
And Monroy has done an excellent job so far controlling the game. Shaw under duress from right. Again, I should mention that the first and only time Louisville beat North
Good
Carolina.
flick.
Monroy, the referee, was in charge then too and gave a late penalty. Lucy. Taylor Flint starting to cover a lot of ground in this second half. I hate to make her the center of attention, so apologies if I've done that. The referees are certainly a part of the game.
The referee's doing a great job. I haven't had any complaints this year.
I think by Taylor Flint's getting pulled out into that area, there's more attack down this left side. The first half really saw it very heavy down the right side for the North Carolina Courage, but now Lucy's getting more involved. They're creating some 3v2 overloads, and Flint's having to come out to try to be disruptive in that wide space.
That's a very good point. North Carolina continued to press the issue. Berkeley wanted the foul. Booted away. Anywhere will do at the moment from Racing. We're being put on their heels. O'Sullivan. Jackson. Kurtz. A rare long ball.
Nice.
An accurate one. Lovely first touch from Manaka, who has options, has company.
Good moves.
To swivel her hips.
It's lovely footwork, too, from Manaka there. You just don't know which direction she's going to go. I had it in my mind she was going to cut the ball, but then she went back again. I like the direct play to her, though, from Kaylee Kurtz.
They caught Louisville off guard. Shaw. Away by Peterson.
They're saying handball over there.
And it's the long service into Manaka. She looks like she has the advantage. She decides to cut it back, but this is the part I really like right there. So Peterson kind of stays with her on that first one, but she uses it again to get forward.
Sanchez.
Good ball.
Williams bombards the box.
Oh.
Away by Malay. Right back to right back.
Nice.
Kept in play by Sears. Turned on the afterburners, but that touch a little bit too loose.
All the giveaways, both teams here.
Fisher to DeMello. DeMello to Sonis. Quickly closed down by Williams, but had an option in DeGrande. The pass mismeasured. And very wily defending there. Let the ball run out of play. Louisville, a team that struggled defensively last season, the worst defensive record, conceded 39 goals. But they have been solid at the back, and that is
they did good,
without one of their stalwarts from the last campaign, Abby Erseg, who has moved to Toluca in the Mexican League. Again, Manaka with some dizzying control. Williams, Sanchez. They're getting into right spots, but the final ball has really not been there.
It's definitely evading them right now, but I love Ryan Williams, and we talked about it in the first half. I love her getting forward in this space. The overload centrally is what Racing Louisville is set up to defend. You can see it in the way that they're bringing Sonis inside and Sears. So the Courage have to change. They have to figure out what position and what space is available. And Ryan Williams going forward is nothing new for them. It just didn't start in this first half with her going into that space. Now that she is, it's exposing that area and allowing Ashley Sanchez to get on the ball more.
Line splitting ball. Ran past everybody. A little bit of miscommunication between Lund and Malay. Malay, who was acquired from the Courage in 2020 in the expansion draft. Poor ball from Manaka Matsukubu, who was the 2023 Challenge Cup final MVP, scored a goal against Racing.
Oh, did I finish that? Peterson kind of looks like Sonnet. Got some Sonnet vibes
Fans
there.
in the stands getting their props from the PA announcer, and rightly so.
It's not for the faint of heart. This rain's been coming down pretty good for the evening, and actually the majority of the day, of course.
I'd be watching at home.
You wouldn't have your poncho? I think you could do it.
I've never had a poncho. I've never worn one. Sears' 13th minute goal. Still the difference between these two sides. Jaden Shaw looking to change that. Finds Lucy. Lucy cutting in. Shot blocked. And now DeGrande can go the other way.
Oh, she got tripped.
She did well. Fouled. And this will be the first booking of the night.
Oh, yellow card.
Carla Lucy painted yellow.
But I think it makes sense for Tyler Lucy to try to come back in that. You do not want Louisville going forward. DeMello, especially on the half turn, getting out in that space. It starts with Lucy and this opportunity. It's blocked by Ellie Jean. O'Sullivan's a little bit too far away to stop the transition, and DeMello does extremely well here. But what you don't want is that becoming something that penetrates your back line. So might as well stop it in this moment.
It was DeMello and not DeGrande. DeMello getting a little bit of attention now from the athletic trainer. Well past the hour mark. Things going rather swimmingly for the home side. Yet to win a home opener
They have a really composed approach to the way that they're playing Racing Louisville. It starts defensively, understanding what are the strengths of the opposition and then how can we exploit them. But it's not rushed to go and exploit the Courage. They're being smart in the way that they're defending and then trying to keep possession. But on the flip side, I will say Manaka's getting more involved, which every time she gets the ball now, you kind of hold your breath if you're Racing Louisville because something is coming from it. And Ryan Williams getting more involved as well. I think those are the two pieces that have helped the Courage in the second half get a little bit more forward.
And it's been very difficult to pick up Manaka because she's drifting just about everywhere. There were questions coming into this season as to the identity of this Racing Louisville side and the kind of football that Bev Yanez was trying to implement, but what they've shown tonight is that they can be pragmatic and efficiently so. So much is said about team identity. Some coaches can do it, others can't, and others choose not to do it. Pragmatism still very much a part of the world's most beautiful game. It's spoils shared between the Utah Royals and Bay FC. 1-1 the final.
Yeah. Sorry, chat. Excuse me.
Jackson threading it through to Lucy. Lucy has the overlap, but she'll do it herself. It's blocked. Easily plucked out of the air by Katie Lund. Louisville about to make another change. And it will be a debutante.
Oh.
Sarah Weber.
Do we know Sarah Weber?
Who Yanez spoke glowingly about. She spoke glowingly about her 4 rookies.
Well, and just for them to all be on the bench here this evening speaks a lot to what they've shown in preseason. I'm excited to see Sarah Weber come into the game. Yanez talks about her relentless work rate and what she can do up top. And I think Fisher put in a really good role here tonight, playing off the line and being able to hold a possession. And I think this will be a little bit different look now with Weber coming into the game, looking to go forward a little bit more.
Sarah Weber making her NWSL debut, replacing Kayla Fisher. North Carolina will respond in kind as they prepare their first substitution. So a lot of breaks over the last few minutes.
Okay, Cameron, chill out.
And it is another debutant in Hannah Betford, who has come over from the Royals.
And in a lot of ways, a like-for-like substitution here with Betford coming in for Lucy. She has a high work rate, looks to penetrate behind the back line with her run, does a lot of stuff defensively, can still come off the line and play back to goal.
Lucy was heavily involved in the second half and much of the first. Gets her rest. She was on a yellow, the only player to be booked so far. So we'll see how Betford slots in. Shania saying that her 4-week evolution during preseason was super impressive. She's hardworking and extremely jovial around her teammates. That's important in the locker room. DeGrande. Peterson.
Good ball.
That's not a bad ball. Still in play. First touches here for Sarah Weber. Malay. Carolina are going to have to start putting pedal to the metal because there's still plenty of time. They haven't made too many inroads. Lovely first touch from Williams, away from 2. Jaden Shaw, Williams continues her run. It's rewarded. She's chased down by DeGrande. There's a cross, punched away, the rebound, and it's in. Riley Jackson, mopping it up.
Miss doing that.
And this is incredible build-up play. It all comes from Ryan Williams. Look at that run. She wants to penetrate in behind. With her run, she shows with her body language she wants the ball. Riley Jackson is right there. And this takes everyone from midfield going
It's against the run of play, pretty much.
Stay involved and being optimistic. Riley Jackson is rewarded for that optimism. Coming in, makes no doubt about it. A great one-time finish because that's skipping off the ground. She's got to get her body over that, and she makes it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Well, they needed to play faster, and they certainly put their foot on the gas. A lung-busting run from Riley Jackson to be involved in that play.
And that's the tracking from midfield of Louisville that they'll
It's a foul
not
off the
be
ball.
happy with, is those players outran them to get into the penalty spot. Just a little more hunger and not having that organization for any
Foul
type
off the
of
ball
rebound
there.
in these conditions.
Foul after,
Racing
maybe.
Louisville, who had the one-goal advantage for the better part of an hour, more than an hour, now find themselves under pressure, and with the score tied, Rao, Murphy. Touch there from Bedford. Malay. DeMello. Has her pocket picked by Berkeley. You did get a sense that for a few minutes there, Louisville were sitting back just a little bit too much. They'd retreated a little bit too deeply and couldn't break effectively in transition.
It's such an interesting push-pull, right, of what is too much, what's not enough, and you kind of get the feeling that, okay, if Ryan Williams makes that run and she's dispossessed, they can transition to the space that she's just vacated, but Ryan Williams makes the most of it, and then Riley Jackson gets in there for the finish. So you want to be really disciplined defensively and can take advantage of a potential transition moment the other way, try to extend your lead, but the problem is with North Carolina Courage, they just have so many weapons when they get going forward.
Nanaka. Bedford. Malay does just enough to snuff out the danger. Here's Jackson. North Carolina have their tails up. Sanchez. Williams. Bedford back into the six. Manaka.
Louisville's on
clears
a
it away.
hard defense
Louisville
right now.
on the ropes. And again, I'll bring back
Still
the point that
in,
you
still
made
in, still
early
in.
the first half. You wanted to see Williams marauding down her flank, and every time that she's done so, it has proven beneficial for her team.
And there's moments like right now where she has to play her role in the build-up and has to stay a little bit less advanced, but I think we're better when she's forward.
Jaden Shaw to Bedford. And that one into the top netting. Well, you're asking for North Carolina to move the ball with some speed, and they've done so effectively in the last few minutes.
Come here, Pipe.
Yeah, they really have. And just getting on the half turn and dribbling at speed. So just the decisiveness doesn't mean it has to be rushed. It can
Someone
still be
put you on
composed,
camera
but there
for the
can be
first
more
time in
decisiveness in
over
their
a
play,
year.
and that's
Come
what they've done these last few minutes. And it really does show, because now Louisville's having to chase towards their own goal. And once that movement gets going of the Courage, it can be really hard to not get drawn out of your defensive shape.
And I think an important factor as well is how involved Jaden Shaw has been. Although the catalyst for me, the player pulling the strings, is the one that was just on the ball, Manaka Matsukubu. North Carolina trying to sell out their home opener next week. I'll return to that point in a second. Sonis took a little bit too long on the ball. Weber had run offside. Next Saturday, North Carolina will host Seattle Reign. They will also induct Jessica McDonald into their Ring of Honor, a 2019 World Cup winner. Won plenty of silverware as a Courage player as well, so congratulations to her. Make sure you get that sellout and carry North Carolina.
Aha, here you come. Come here. Come on. Piper. Come on.
Bedford. Instant impact off the bench. Berkeley. Route 1, a rarity. Sanchez trying to get in behind. Did well to force the corner from Ellie Jean.
And that's something we're not accustomed to seeing, but there's purpose behind it. Just playing direct doesn't mean it doesn't have purpose, and I think there's purpose there. Ashley Sanchez makes it look even better by her optimistic run in behind, but I like that because now Louisville just has to think about it. Not only do you get the set piece, but hey, they might go long, and that might give you the extra yard of space to possess.
Jinshaw from the corner flag, leaves that one too short. Shot from Williams is blocked. She'll reclaim it, recycle it all the way back to Casey Murphy. Shaw, delicate cushion touch. A street baller, as described by Sean Nahas, who made a move to North Carolina because she wanted to be a part of a team that plays possession football. She wants the ball at her feet. Who doesn't? O'Sullivan. The captain directing traffic, Berkeley.
You can see the picture of fluidity right here with Shaw getting in the outside, Ashley Sanchez coming in. That's what Sean Nahas wants. Occupy spaces, doesn't matter who it is. Find spaces where you can be and work out of those positions with flexibility.
Sanchez, there's the shot just wide.
Ooh.
Bedford in the right place at the right time.
Bedford getting on the ball here.
The ball came at her fast.
Yeah, Ashley Sanchez gets into this wide channel. This would have been great for Bedford in her first game to be able to put this one away.
Oh.
But she's in a good spot. Malay's just a half yard behind, not able to direct it on frame. But Ashley Sanchez started inside, floats outside. That's very hard to defend, and it gives her enough space to be able to find the service for Bedford.
Here you are. No.
Only scored 12 goals away from home last season, North Carolina.
Hi, baby.
Got one on the board tonight. They boasted the joint second best defensive record in the league with the Washington Spirit. Berkeley.
Emma, boot it.
The danger. Sears.
Good cross.
Not dealt with.
Oh.
Tipped over.
Nice save.
It wasn't a clean hit from Sarah Weber. She sliced through the
We
ball.
have a Piper.
But there was still
She's
work
being
for
antsy.
Casey Murphy to do.
Well, there's the rookie right there. Emma Sears is looking for it. Sarah Weber is just going into the penalty area. Opportunistic. Casey Murphy does
That was
well
actually
on
a good
this.
save.
You're usually expecting a little bit more power behind this, but just has to get over it, and Murphy does very well to tip that over the crossbar.
Great
Last
save.
season, it was a case of the late show from Racing Louisville. Scored 11 goals in the final 15 minutes. And was tied for most with this Spirit. They also conceded the most goals in the last 15. Something spotted, player down in green. Whatever happened just before the set piece was taken. It's Flint on the ground.
And she's an obvious target for any set piece that Louisville is going to do. So when there's a group of players there, they're going to be focused in on Flint. So to be able to take a look at what happens, you can see right there, Flint's in the back post, outside the 6, and Bedford's just really trying to impede her going forward, and she falls from there. But they're definitely focused on her for this header.
So Peterson to deliver. Towards the back stick. Punched away.
Corner the other way.
By Murphy. And a second consecutive corner kick now. Sonis will be on set piece duty this time. That one ballooned. Jean makes contact. DeGrande. Corner number 6. Jonas has had plenty of opportunities to calibrate her service towards the penalty spot. Naka gets to the ball. Can untangle herself from 3. Rao, coolly done. Sanchez. It was meant for Shaw. Looks heavy-legged at the moment, understandably. First game of the season, an intense, long preseason.
80th minute. Still getting
see
set
the
up
game
for
get
the
a little bit more wide open as Louisville has those consecutive corner kicks and not getting back into their defensive shape. So will the North Carolina Courage kind of settle in, or will they try to take advantage of that, because they're definitely not as disciplined as they've looked coming off that corner kick.
Louisville in a deep, narrow block once again. Manaka. Ball ushered out of play. And now North Carolina going to the bench for a second time as Courtney Vine and Aline Gomes will make their cameo appearances.
Sanchez.
Actually, Sanchez trots off, as does Jaden Shaw, who did look like she was gassed.
Well, I think with 10 minutes to go in the game, too, the North Carolina Courage just bringing in some fresh legs, looking to go forward a little bit more. Keeping, I like that Manaka still in there, because Manaka has really been pulling the strings in the second half for the Courage.
So 2 somewhat like-for-like substitutions. Sullivan, Murphy. They have to make
Sorry about my phone.
Standout saves tonight.
Texted.
He's given good account of herself. Gomes, Berkeley. Rao to Gomes. Trying to circumvent De Grande. And then releases Sarah Weber. Weber doesn't have much company. Sarah Weber will look to do it herself. Weber! Well, that would be quite the introduction were that to hit the back of the net.
Well, Malia Berkeley almost showed too much patience defensively. Sometimes when you have speed, you kind of give them a little bit more time, but Weber had a lot of space here, continuing to take on, and Kurtz backs up a little bit as well, and it just allows her to find that half yard of space. Not able to find it on frame, but you can see the industriousness of Weber to go clean this up, get it into the penalty box, and generate an opportunity.
Can shoot with either foot. Scored 43 goals and accessorized those with 16 assists and 78 college appearances for Nebraska. Jackson to Manaka.
Oh, Manaka fell.
Her eyes got big. She was going for goal.
We actually haven't seen a lot of that with the conditions of the slipping and stuff, but that's one of the first ones that we've seen with Manaka there.
Manaka. O'Sullivan. She's been sprightly in midfield.
Sprightly.
Really led by example.
With Aline Gomes coming in, it's put Hannah Betford into a more natural position for her in that center forward role. So continue to watch, look to her, try to get in and around the penalty box, try to make runs in behind and just get on rebound opportunities. That's what she does best.
Berkeley in unfamiliar
Full of cat
territory.
hair. My cat is shedding for some reason.
Here's Weber again. It's Weber against the
Weber.
world.
Yeah, Weber
And
versus
so far,
4
she's
here.
winning.
Oh.
Right idea.
I don't know if it's the right
Better
idea.
touch.
She had Emma on the
Looks
other
like
side
if
of the
Louisville
field.
are going to get a win in this game. They'll do it in transition after absorbing some pressure from the visitors. You can also see how the Courage have resorted more frequently to those long balls, which have proven a menace to deal with.
And it definitely can be, but what it also does is you can see it there, it stretches the game more, which I think is to the advantage of Louisville. So if it's not on, the Courage is too expansive and they could really give up in transition.
So another move here for Racing, and that will burn their third substitution window. Sones will walk off, and Katie O'Kane, who impressed during preseason, will make her NWSL debut at the University of Utah, where she led in goal contributions over the past 2 years. And her first introduction to the pro game is to get megged.
Not cleanly, though. Not cleanly.
Doesn't count
Come
the
on,
same.
Eric.
Doesn't count the same.
You know what I always love hearing when we talk to a coach is when they talk about a player like Katie O'Kane, what Bev Yanez said was they couldn't ignore her. She came in, they kept seeing her get better and better and better. And I love hearing that because it's an opportunity for her to make the first team, to get a contract and to get into the first game. I'm excited to watch her and watch her develop throughout this season.
What about Sears?
We're into the dying embers.
The dying embers.
Will there
Let's
be
go,
a grandstand
Gotham.
finish in Louisville, Kentucky? So far, a tale of two halves. Aline Gomes, Berkeley. It's well done by Riley Jackson. He plays well beyond her years. You'd think that out of these two teams, North Carolina the happiest with a point if, by the time this is all said and done, it is a point apiece.
I think on the road, yes, and you're right. And coming from a goal down, 100%. So you're taking in the context of the game. Of course, they're always going to want 3 points, but it's a long season. So battling back, it doesn't look like they're going to try to just sit on it and only get a point, but they'll still be happy with it.
Kurtz, back to Murphy. Courtney Vine. Combination play with Manaka.
Oh!
And that one just palmed away by Lund from point-blank range. Not sure she knew too much about it, but she did what she needed to, and it was Bedford once again causing chaos.
And great combination play. It doesn't look like there's a lot of space to take advantage, but Vine and Banaka find it somehow right there, just not getting in the spot with Peterson, and then a little bit of a collision. Lund does really well because Bedford is right there, but it's good play in the wide channel from Courtney Vine, the substitute.
That was brave from the goalkeeper to intercede. Fifth corner for North Carolina. Weber latches onto it. And nobody
Still
has an
in.
outlet. And that's been the case over the last 10 to 15 minutes as the pressure continues to build on Racing Louisville here in the home opener in this NWSL opening weekend. Goals galore so far, and a lot more action to come tonight and tomorrow. Berkeley. Jackson in a pocket of space. O'Sullivan.
Good.
Berkeley to Gomes.
It's a good touch over.
What's so interesting about the way the Courage playing, that's Berkeley, the center back, playing in the center of midfield, and it doesn't even matter. That's fluidity at its extreme with Riley Jackson going in behind her, and it makes it hard to defend against.
O'Kane does enough to keep the ball moving. DeMello, who's grown quiet through no fault of her own.
What?
It's been mostly one-way traffic.
What was that? A very late foul called with control of the ball even.
Wow.
That's a mistake.
Williams. Vine. Lovely, nifty first touch from Williams. Kurtz. Manaka. Love to see her a heat map. Courtney Vine. Corner kick, North Carolina.
You make a good point about the heat map, but it's also the timing of her run into midfield. Manaka just
Shinomi
comes in
and
out of
Pinto.
nowhere, times it as late as possible, and gets on the ball in possession.
Final two moves to be made by Sean Nahas. Brianna Pinto, who scored here the last time the Courage played Louisville, and Shinomi Koyama, who signed from Drew Gardens in January. She's also making her debut. So a lot of debutantes as 3 minutes are added. Enough time for a game-winning goal. Will it be the Courage to get the winner? Vine, away by DeGrande. Well, something has been checked and is being reviewed, but that was a quick one. Play on, says the referee. Taylor Flint. The 22 players on the field are the 22 players who will see this one out. 1-1. Emma Sears and Riley Jackson, the scorers on either side of the break. Berkeley. Rao.
That's a good touch.
Trying to make inroads.
Oh.
Flint's having to do a lot in that midfield. She's out getting pulled into the outside space. She has to, because there's so much buildup in those areas where it feels like there's overloads in possession.
Shinomi. Mines. DeMello.
There's nobody up there, though.
All that Louisville can do at the moment is clear their lines.
You can see Bev Yanez there just talking to her players, O'Kane, to step and press. That was the moment where they could really make North Carolina uncomfortable and just helping them on, because they're having to do a lot of defensive work here towards the end.
To the final minute at the referee's discretion. Hooked away by Ellie Jean. Flint in the clouds. Kurtz all the way back
Flint
to
in the
Casey
clouds.
Murphy. Malay will chase this one down.
That's
boots it into the stands. North Carolina will have to be quick here. Berkeley.
Somebody's yelling at the ball boy there for throwing the ball in too fast.
Away by Wright. Kurtz to
So
Williams.
sad.
Berkeley. Vine wants the ball on the opposite side.
Take your
Kurtz.
space. There's a shot.
Kurtz will have a go.
No.
Ambitious, speculative, ineffective. And that will be it as the curtain comes down on this opening match for these two sides. The spoils split between Racing Louisville and the North Carolina Courage. Emma Sears and Riley Jackson, the scorers. Casey White.
Well, we talked about how 1 point would be good for the Courage, but I also think how that second half win, Louisville as well had to put in a defensive effort. You can see how dangerous the Courage can be as they start clicking a little bit more, create numbers higher. So Louisville comes out with, I also think, a pretty good point, seeing how the second half went.
Louisville remain unbeaten in a home opener, but yet to win as they drop the lead. North Carolina claiming a point against Racing.
The NWSL is the most competitive league in the world.
You're watching Avengers Assemble.
I channel my inner Dennis Rodman on the field.
Oh man, the league has grown and it's awesome to see.
NWSL is changing. Almost an entire generation is leaving just as the game is beginning to soar.
I'll leave everything on the field, but I want this title.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Imagine the hidden gems you'll find.
Sweet.
Ribs, please.
Imagine all the dust you'll kick up.
Easy.
Imagine the memories you'll make.
Yeah.
And some you'd like to forget.
Save on the best-selling Tacoma and lease this well-equipped 25 Tacoma TRD Sport for $369 a month. Or you can get 4.99 APR financing on Tacoma.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings with over $600 in digital coupons each week, plus up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome.
I like it.
I love it.
Now you can get 6.49 APR financing up to 72 months on any new Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models. Plus, get 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Watch this. Watch us move. Watch us fly. Watch us break. Watch us burn. Watch us rise. Watch us rule. Just you watch.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Hey, there he is. Let's do this.
Hey, you ready?
Yeah.
You're up, guys. All right.
Now get 2.99 APR financing on a new built-in-the USA Tundra, or up to $3,000 customer cash, or lease a new Tundra from just $449 a month.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Yeah.
Come on.
Toyota, let's go places.
Amazing.
Racing Louisville and North Carolina Courage play out to a draw in this opening weekend. 1-1 the score. Emma Sears with the opener, her goal canceled out by Riley Jackson's strike, and we're happy to be joined by Riley right now. Riley, thanks for joining us.
It's so
was
rainy.
a dominant second half. What did Sean Nahas tell you during the break to have you guys playing the way you did in the second 45?
Yeah, I mean, we've been grinding all of preseason, and I think he just told us we need to go out there and grind and get the result that we deserve. Drop our shoulders, have fun, enjoy the ball, but at the end of the day, we just needed to grind it out and try to score. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result, but I think we put on a great performance, got plenty of chances, and this is a great step moving forward.
And Riley, an important equalizing goal for you. I think at minimum you sprinted 40 yards to get into the penalty area. Can you take us through that goal in that moment for you?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things Sean told us at halftime is we need to get more numbers in the box to be able to seal when we cross and the ball pops out. So that's exactly what happened. I wanted to make sure that the box was sealed once Ryan played that cross. I was screaming for it, and it just ended up popping out to me in the perfect spot, and I was able to tuck it in. So.
Riley, during the broadcast, Casey and I were talking about the responsibility that's been placed on your shoulders. You're replacing Narumi in midfield. How do you feel about your position in the team and the responsibility that you've essentially been given?
I'm very grateful for the opportunity to step into the starting lineup. It's something that I've been working for a long time, and Narumi was a great role model for me. So to be able to step in those shoes is really special. I have a great support system around me, and that's why I'm able to do what I'm able to do. I still have a lot of growing to do, but I'm super excited and grateful to have the opportunity to be in the shoes that I'm in. And it's just a grind every single day, ready to get better.
You are playing beyond your years. Congratulations on the goal. Go and get dry. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Riley Jackson, who made sure the North Carolina Courage left Louisville with a point, but it was racing. We got on the board early.
They did, and this was in transition. They earned the corner kick. Emma Sears is able to put away in the 13th minute with the assist from Aaron Wright on the back post. So Racing Louisville was off to a quick start, but North Carolina Courage would start going, and a lot of the catalyst of this was Ryan Williams going up that right side, playing the ball across, and it's Riley Jackson that puts the equalizer away. The midfielder and Hannah Betford up top looking to get into the penalty area. It was just a great finish, and the North Carolina Courage would just continue to roll after this, continue to get a lot of possession. And again, in that wide channel, Ashley Sanchez looking to find balls across. Hannah Betford comes incredibly close to a game winner.
Both teams looking for a win at the end, but Louisville running out of legs in the final few minutes. They would threaten a little bit. This is probably the best chance, and a rookie Weber forcing a save.
Casey Murphy was up to the task. Sarah Weber does really well just to get over this, get it on frame, but Casey Murphy, it was big time when she pushes that over the crossbar.
Here's the story of the match according to the stats. Lots of shots in this game, a lot of those accurate, but look at the possession numbers. North Carolina Courage, who averaged 57.2 last season, start off in the first game with 68% of the ball.
We've become accustomed to seeing that. They've always outpossessed in every regular season game since August of 2022, so it happens again, but every other category pretty close together, pretty even on both sides.
Well, a look now at the matchups coming up next week. Does anything stand out to you?
Well, I think that Washington Spirit Kansas City current game.
I like how I say tomorrow on all of them.
Right there, just a lot of fun, a lot of high octane.
It's so wrong.
I think everybody is going to be paying attention to that marquee matchup. Well, it's another home opener and another evasive result for Louisville, who don't get the win that they were looking for. They had the lead. They coughed it up in the second half. North Carolina deserved to come away with a point. It was a good one. For Casey White, our entire crew, I'm Eric Krakow. Hope you enjoyed it, because we did. Good night.
Chat, thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.
No excuses. We pick it up, we control the game. Let somebody know, all right? We're smart. Let's go.
Watch us move. Watch us fly. Watch us break. Watch us burn. Watch us rise. Watch us rule. Just you watch.
Here's a twist on your typical
Oh, the
banking
commercials.
options. What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Hey, grab me one too.
Is that it? That's it. All right, chat. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We're going to hopefully do more of these. Right now, currently, Seattle and Gotham are playing. It's the 5th minute, 0-0. Over on Ion, on your local TV stations. Again, thanks for watching. We're going to try to do some more. We can only currently do the ones on NWSL Plus. You can get your free account at plus.nwslsoccer.com. So, anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a good weekend.